welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you're new here, well, if you're here at all, then I'm sorry you have to see me in such a bitter mood. I had another video planned for this week, but with the Met Gala taking place a few days ago and the truly disappointing event that had taken place, I decided to change the itinerary a little bit. This disappointing event is the subject of this impromptu video. Some things, ladies and gentlemen, are sacred. And when you convene with the divine, there's a reason that your soul is weighed, your purity, your value is in question. There's a certain amount of care, of preparation, of merit required for the privilege of being in the presence of, or in this case, skin to skin with the divine. Kim Kardashian, whose only merit is wealth, had absolutely no right to wear Marilyn Monroe's dress. That spectacular, glimmering naked dress that was worn to serenade John F. Kennedy in front of his wife. The dress on its own is a myth, a legend. It's on the list of seemingly impossible things. I will reiterate later just how important I think I and myself and many other people think that dress is, especially the titan of a woman who wore it. But first, I need to get some important pieces of information out of the way. The dress was designed by Bob Mackie, who was an intern for Jean-Louis at the time, and it was designed specifically for Marilyn Monroe to adorn her body with over 2,500 rhinestones. She was sewn into it. It was exceptionally form-fitting. Kim Kardashian, despite what many people, including myself, thought within the first day or so, wore the dress for only a few minutes and then immediately changed into a replica of the dress. There was a tent that was set up at the Met Gala so that she could change into it and out of it. The dress was not altered in any way, thank God. There was a lot of anger and a lot of misinformation that I definitely fell for in the beginning, or at least I had assumed in the beginning. So I just had to clarify those things first. Now, before I detail everything that I think is wrong with Kim's decision to wear this dress, I'd like to state the obvious. It didn't go with the theme. It didn't follow the theme. But I'm not here to exhaust myself talking about how Kim and many, many other people did not follow this exceptionally easy theme. Because every year, at least half of the attendees of the Met Gala, they do not follow the theme or they disregard it. So without further delay, I am going to detail the reasons why I believe Kim disrespected Marilyn Monroe, disrespected this dress's legend, and those who designed it. Number one, this dress was not created to be worn by anyone other than Marilyn Monroe. The dress was sewn onto this woman's body. Kim didn't even remotely fit into that dress, despite all of the talk about her losing this weight in order to fit into it. And this is made obvious by the enormous gap in the back of the dress, which she covered with probably the cheapest looking white faux fur coat imaginable. And I remember looking through the pictures one after another of Kim in this dress, looking and waiting to find a picture to see the back of the dress, because I particularly liked the back of Marilyn Monroe's dress on her. I liked that it didn't go too far down, but it was just revealing enough. And I wanted to see how it would look on Kim, especially with her enormous faux derriere. I was honestly sick to my stomach thinking about, how is Kim going to fit her ass into this dress? She's going to destroy the dress. She's going to rip it. Something's going to happen. There's no way. But then I was equally horrified to witness the photo of the dress open and tied up over top of her bottom. For someone that talked so much, if not only, about how much weight she had to lose and how hard it was to lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time to fit into this dress, maybe she should have gotten her ass reduced so that she could actually fit into it. You know, if she cared so much about this dress, the dress doesn't fit you, don't wear it. Don't say you fit into it, because you don't. In addition to that, the conservators and costume professionals had a lot to say about this too. Sarah Scaturo, chief conservator at the Cleveland Museum of Art and formerly a conservator at the Met's Costume Institute, said in a recent Los Angeles Times article, "I'm frustrated because it sets back what is considered professional treatment for historic costume. In the 80s, a bunch of costume professionals came together to state a resolution that historic costume should not be worn." Another contributor to this article, Cara Varnell, stated, "We don't wear archived historic pieces. Something that's archived means it has enough cultural importance that we value it and we want to save it. The dress represents something very important. It's part of our collective cultural heritage. I'm speechless over it." I could not agree with them more. The dress should have been worn once by Marilyn to preserve the soul, the spirit, what that dress meant, especially the magic of that evening. Number 2. Kim is known for trying to blackfish or whatever, trying to look much, much darker than she actually is. This is the one time Kim should have just evened out to her natural complexion so that she could complement the dress better. I still don't think it would have looked right because for a dress like that, a nude dress to work, for it to have the proper effect, the nude of the fabric needs to be almost identical to the skin of the wearer, as it had with Marilyn. I mean, it looked like she was wearing nothing. But to be honest, I mean, as soon as Kim stepped onto the carpet, she made it look cheap, like a Fashion Nova knockoff. And then with those pleaser heels, I mean, are you serious? I can give you 3 different designers that can give you shoes that would have been much more complimentary for a dress like that than those. I mean, it's possible she was doing it for the height because she's very short, but there's better shoes out there to wear, okay? And I like pleaser heels a lot, but not for Marilyn Monroe's dress. Kim is also so obviously wearing shapewear underneath the dress, which is defeating the purpose of the dress again. Marilyn Monroe did not wear anything underneath. If you don't want to do that, then don't wear the dress. I mean, the dress on Marilyn literally had crystals that were carefully placed so as to cover her more private areas. All this dress was on Marilyn was a swath of fabric and some crystals. That was the essence of it. That's all the dress needed to be. Number 3. This one irritates me just a little bit more than the other 2. Kim does not give a shit about Marilyn Monroe, about this dress, what it stands for, the history of it, how it was made, nothing. In fact, all she cared to talk about during her Met Gala interview was about how much weight she had to lose and how she had to dye her hair for this dress. And all this talk about how much weight she had to lose, and yet she had to tie up the back of the dress in order to fit into it. It's kind of self-defeating, don't you think? It just seems to me that she couldn't bear the thought that she couldn't wear this dress, that she couldn't have it. It's all possession, it seems. The whole conversation was just about this victory and ego. There was nothing in this interview about how she adored Marilyn, about the possible connection between the two of them as being sex symbols, as being sensationalized during their time, how beautiful, delicate, and genius this dress is. Nothing. I mean, it was the most banal, selfish conversation about one of the greatest dresses ever created. A slap in the face. I mean, it was all about her, all about publicity, notoriety, whatever came of it. I mean, I have really never felt so revolted. And in fact, the more I think about it, the more I get upset, which is the reason why I'm doing a whole video on this, because I just couldn't sit with it. I myself have just never witnessed to this severity, an art object being placed in the hands of someone so careless and ignorant. And yes, I do consider that dress to be a work of art. I consider that entire evening at Madison Square Garden to be a beautiful performance piece. Marilyn arriving characteristically late and figuratively undressing in front of a bunch of politicians, including her secret lover. I mean, it's ridiculous. No one could ever do something that incredible anymore, it seems. Everybody has to always copy or piggyback off of somebody else. I mean, how do you wear a garment like that just as another Met Gala gown to cross off of your list? Unbelievably offensive. I saw nothing special about her wearing that. It really did not seem like a big deal at all. At least coming from her. I don't really feel like she cared all that much. I don't care how much weight she lost for it. That's not the kind of dedication you need for a dress like that. If anything, I would have thought it more respectable that she put the dress on and that, it just wasn't for her and she decided to put it away and say no. I would have found that more respectable. Now, for those of us in the world that saw Marilyn's dress as something that only a goddess could pull off, someone just no longer human, only someone so consumed by their desire, their misery, the slavery of their condition as a woman in that time. I mean, we took this as a great loss. This was desecration. It was sacrilegious. This was burning the flag, pissing on the grave. This was an inverted crucifix, the nun's habit, redesigned skimpy for pornos. This video is a lamentation. So as to restore some sanctity to this dress, to what it means to Marilyn, I will regale you all with a little bit of a retelling of the events of that evening and details of Marilyn's procurement for that event. It was a premature birthday for John F. Kennedy, and it was held at Madison Square Garden. Marilyn was running later, as this was later in her career, and she was known to either arrive late or simply not show up at all. It was said that Marilyn had just got off of a new diet and that she was looking better than ever, that she was looking great. But I think that anybody who watches the performance and anybody that paid attention to her life at all would know that Marilyn was certainly drunk whenever she sung this to Kennedy, and she was definitely into heavy alcohol abuse and drugs during this stage in her life, and I'm almost certain that her weight loss had something to do with those two. When Marilyn did arrive, she was sewn into the dress, and she chose to forgo her undergarments so that the dress would lay properly on her body. And it was only crystals that provided her any little bit of decency. Once it was time for her to sing, she arrived on the stage in this enormous, beautiful white fur coat. And those who were in the audience had absolutely no idea what they were about to witness. She removed the coat with a flourish, and there she was, figuratively nude and glimmering in front of 15,000 people, one of which was Kennedy's wife. Marilyn sang Happy Birthday, but most people described it as breathing, more of like almost a kind of moaning. When she finished, she was giddy, jumping up and down, and the crowd roared voraciously. That evening, Marilyn, the president's mistress, made naked her skin, his infidelity, and her desire in front of a sea of politicians and Kennedy's prim wife. That dress is more than just a dress. That dress is Marilyn. All of her shortcomings, all those who had abandoned her, and her just unquenchable thirst for love, just symbolized in this lustful stylistic gesture, and something as simple and complex as a dress, a garment. During that evening, in that dress, Marilyn professed unapologetically her desperation. This was self-destruction glamorized to this extent for the first time. It was beautiful, breathtaking, but absolutely heartbreaking to watch. And I'm telling you, if you watch the video of her actually singing it, it's hard to watch. I'm not saying Kim can't wear the dress. I'd prefer if she wouldn't. I think someone else deserves to wear it a lot more. But she's a free woman and she can do whatever the hell she wants with her money. I don't even know if she paid a dime for this, but she certainly did not put the thought, the dedication, or the ritualism that she thinks she did into that dress. And certainly not what was necessary for such a sacred piece. She should have been much more considerate. And I realize that it doesn't matter that I'm saying any of this. It happened. Kim and her entire familial cult will always profit off of fame or notoriety. And even though I'm not important, especially when juxtaposed against the Kardashians or anyone that supports them or anyone that supported her wearing this dress, I still feel the need to express my devastation upon witnessing this. To me, or to anyone else that thinks about this dress on a regular basis, its symbolism, as well as the woman who wore it, Kim desecrated this dress. The fact that her body even inhabited the same space as Marilyn's is a disgrace, considering how ignorant she was about all of it. And it just seemed so nonchalant. It just didn't seem important to her at all. It was a disgrace and an absolute failure of an attempt to pay homage to American icons. There was only one woman that was able to somewhat recapture the allure of Marilyn Monroe's naked dress in her own way, in a novel way, and that was Rihanna. I'm sure you all remember the CFDAs, where Rihanna wore her famous Adam Selman's dress with just covered in Swarovski crystals, and was rightfully awarded the Fashion Icon of the Year. It was only this dress that was able to compare to Marilyn Monroe's naked dress. But even then, Rihanna showed up to the event, and I love Rihanna, that doesn't matter. But Rihanna wasn't trying to be anybody, you know? She was just doing what she does best. Rihanna showed up, she said some sassy things, and that was that. There was no performance, there was no theater, there was no intent with the dress, there was no subliminal message here. There was no legend besides her nakedness, and she did a good job at it. I thought it was executed perfectly, you know, for Rihanna. So yeah, really nothing as of yet has been able to live up to Marilyn's dress. Nothing. And now Kim's foolish name pops up first when you research Marilyn's own dress. And then she's accompanied by her foolish publicity ploy of a boyfriend. Her joke of a boyfriend. I mean, it's tragic. It's blasphemous. All right, that's it. I will link Marilyn's happy birthday performance below. I highly suggest that you watch it and witness such beauty and such tragedy intermingled together. Yeah, I'm very, very upset, very kind of betrayed. I really can't believe that they gave her the dress. It's definitely just because she has status and money. I really don't see it any other way. I was very upset. And the more I looked into it, the more upset I got. So much so that I decided to I just sat down and wrote my heart out in this video for like 2 hours straight. I was just blind rage typing this script out. I didn't even have to think about it. But I think that this kind of video is pertinent to my channel because as far as Marilyn's naked dress, there is, to me, there's absolutely no other garment out there that can capture femininity in essence, feminine mystery, and just glamour and tragedy and lust. Nothing can ever do it quite as simply and perfectly as a glimmering nude dress. And I think about this dress all the time, and I have always tried to find dresses that are similar to Marilyn's dress to wear every day. I have like one, and it's like jersey fabric. It's not even that big of a deal. Just the fact that like Kim of all people, it's just like, anyone else. It's just sad. All right. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm not really going to change my opinion on this subject. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm still interested to hear what you guys have to say. Please like, subscribe, of course, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.